Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders are facing a moment of tension and uncertainty just as the NFL season begins to heat up. Star quarterback Jayden Daniels, the young phenom whose dual-threat capabilities have electrified fans and confounded opponents, missed practice again on Wednesday and Thursday, throwing a shadow of doubt over the team's readiness for their Week 3 showdown against the Las Vegas Raiders. The scene is set for a dramatic weekend in Washington. Will Daniels be able to take the field, or will the Commanders be forced to turn to their experienced backup? The stakes could not be higher, and the drama surrounding Daniels' injury has cast a palpable tension over the team's preparation. Daniels, who suffered a knee sprain during the Week 2 loss to the Green Bay Packers, has been held out of practice this week as the coaching staff carefully monitors his condition. Head coach Dan Quinn has been deliberate and measured in his statements, signaling both caution and hope. Earlier this week, Quinn suggested that while Daniels would miss practice midweek, there remains the potential for a return as early as Friday's session. The emphasis, however, is not merely on playing but on being fully capable, on being absolutely himself, as Quinn put it. Daniels' mobility is one of his greatest assets, a critical component of the Commanders' offensive strategy, and rushing back too soon could compromise both his performance and the team's overall success. It starts off first on the strength, the movements, Quinn explained, detailing the rigorous physical checkpoints that Daniels must meet before taking the field. Then on the field change direction, the pivoting, the moving, all of those would be the things to go. So, we'll just take it as it goes through the week. But he'd have to see all of the steps along this week to hit those marks. The speed, the stopping, the change of direction, all of it. These are not empty words. They reflect the reality that quarterbacks, particularly those with Daniels' style of play, must maintain peak physical performance to be effective. Even a slight hesitation or limitation can be exploited by defensive coordinators at the highest level, and Quinn clearly understands the fine line between heroics and risk. Should Daniels be unable to take the field, the Commanders have a safety net in veteran quarterback Marcus Mariota, a player whose experience and steady hand provide a reassuring contrast to the uncertainty surrounding the young starter. Mariota, who has already contributed significantly in the early stages of the 2024 season, knows the pressures Daniels faces all too well. It comes down to, if you feel like you can do what you normally do, then go ahead, Mariota said. His tone is calm, but carries the weight of experience, the kind earned over years of navigating high-pressure situations. I've been in situations like this where you try to fight through it, and maybe you're not playing like yourself, and it is hard. You want to be out there for your team and tough it out. We understand Jayden is going to do everything in his power to play. We always tell him, just be you, and if you feel through the course of the week you get back to that point, great. We'll support you to be ready to roll. If you need a week, that's okay. I'll be ready to go too. Mariota's presence on the roster is a reminder that while Daniels is the team's future, the Commanders have a reliable option in the present. Mariota played in 3 games for Washington in 2024, completing an impressive 77.3% of his passes for 364 yards, throwing 4 touchdowns without a single interception. He also contributed 92 yards and a touchdown on the ground, demonstrating that while he may not possess Daniels' explosive athleticism, he is more than capable of executing the game plan effectively and keeping the team competitive. The storyline is compelling. A seasoned veteran ready to step in at a moment's notice, a young star pushing to return despite injury, and a team's playoff hopes hanging in the balance as Sunday approaches. The stakes extend beyond individual performances. The Las Vegas Raiders come into this matchup with their own ambitions and a roster capable of exploiting any weakness in the Commanders' lineup. Washington's offensive rhythm, built around Daniels' mobility and improvisational playmaking, could be disrupted if he is not at full strength. This uncertainty adds a layer of psychological pressure not just on Daniels and Mariota, but on the entire roster. Every practice snap, every drill, every evaluation by the coaching staff is magnified under the scrutiny of both media and fans who are already speculating on the team's chances in a key divisional battle. Quinn and his staff face the delicate task of balancing optimism with realism. They want to see Daniels succeed, to have him lead the team onto the field and orchestrate the high-flying plays that have thrilled fans. But they also recognize the long-term implications of rushing a player back from a knee injury. It is a classic quarterback dilemma, the tension between a team's immediate needs and a player's health, between courage and caution, between the heroics of the moment and the strategy of the season. Every move is under the microscope, every decision has consequences, and the pressure is as much mental as it is physical. The drama will reach its peak on Sunday when Washington and Las Vegas kick off at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Until then, the football world watches and waits, hanging on every report, every practice update, every press conference. Will Jayden Daniels return to lead the Commanders, or will Marcus Mariota be called upon to step into the spotlight and prove that veteran savvy can match youthful athleticism? Either way, the storylines are compelling, the tension is palpable, and the stakes could not be higher. This is more than a game. It is a test of resilience, judgment, and the thin line that separates triumph from disappointment in professional sports. In a league where narratives are written in real time and every injury can redefine a season, Daniel's status is more than just a medical question. It is a pivot point for the Commanders' identity and their potential success. Fans and analysts alike will be scrutinizing the Friday practice for any signs of mobility, any spark of his signature elusiveness, any hint that he can operate at the level that defines him as a top quarterback in the league. Meanwhile, Mariota's readiness underscores the depth and adaptability of a team that refuses to be undone by uncertainty. He represents reliability, a steady hand in a storm, and a reminder that in football, as in life, preparation and patience often determine outcomes as much as talent. As Sunday approaches, all eyes remain on Washington. Every report of Daniel's condition is dissected, every statement from Quinn or Mariota is analyzed, and the narrative of the Commanders' season begins to hinge on a single decision: play the young star and risk further injury, or rely on the veteran and hope experience carries the team to victory. The drama is tangible, the storylines intertwine, and the anticipation builds to a crescendo. Whatever happens, this week will be remembered not just for the game against the Raiders, but for the suspense, the tension, and the very human elements that make sports compelling: courage, risk, teamwork, and the constant push to be at one's best when the spotlight demands it. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. War has officially been declared in the NFL, and the ripple effects of this seismic move are already shaking the league to its core. The news that T.J. Watt, arguably one of the most feared defensive forces in football over the last several seasons, is leaving Pittsburgh has set off a whirlwind of speculation, heated debates, and pure, unadulterated excitement among fans and pundits alike. Watt's departure from the Steelers isn't just a change of scenery. It's a tectonic shift in the balance of power, a statement that resonates far beyond Pittsburgh. For years, Watt has been the embodiment of relentless pursuit, the nightmare in opposing quarterbacks' eyes, the cornerstone of Pittsburgh's defensive identity. But now, the whispers have turned into roars, as he is rumored to have joined forces with Dan Quinn and the Washington franchise, transforming what was already a hungry, aspiring team into a legitimate, fearsome powerhouse. The mere thought of T.J. Watt donning a Washington uniform has sent shivers down the spines of NFL offenses everywhere. Imagine the headlines, the post-game analysis, the endless speculation. Here is a man whose motor never quits, whose instincts are near legendary, and whose capacity to disrupt a game is almost unparalleled, now operating under the guidance of one of the NFL's most innovative defensive minds. Dan Quinn, known for his ability to scheme and maximize talent, now has at his disposal a weapon that can alter the trajectory of any game. It's not just about the sack numbers, although Watt's track record in that department is enough to give offensive lines nightmares. It's about the aura he carries, the leadership he exudes, and the sheer intensity that he brings to every snap. Washington, under Quinn's direction, is rumored to be morphing into a team that doesn't just play defense. They dominate, they dictate, they terrify. The buzz around this potential union has been deafening. Insiders are hinting at clandestine meetings, secret strategy sessions, and a sense of urgency in Washington's front office that we haven't seen in years. Rumor has it that Quinn has been circling the league, analyzing how to reshape his defense around what's unique skill set. Unlike any ordinary signing, this isn't just about filling a position. It's about creating a dynamic, game-altering synergy. What's presence changes everything. Coverage schemes can be more aggressive, blitz packages become more exotic, and quarterbacks now have a new reason to lose sleep. Analysts are already predicting that Washington's defensive rankings could leap into the top tier almost overnight, fueled by what's relentless pressure and Quinn's tactical genius. It's a match made in football heaven, the kind that gives Twitter and sports talk radio enough material for months, if not years. Fans are already salivating at the thought. The anticipation is tangible. Social media platforms are ablaze with speculation. How many sacks will what rack up under Quinn? Will Washington finally break through and dominate their division? Is this the start of a dynasty? The narratives are endless, and the excitement is palpable. Rumors are swirling about the team's internal meetings, where coaches are reportedly plotting scenarios for every conceivable opponent, knowing full well that what's mere presence alters everything. Quarterbacks who once felt comfortable in the pocket may now find themselves scrambling in ways they've never experienced. Running backs may hesitate. Offensive lines may double and triple team, and yet still, what somehow finds a way through. The narrative isn't just about stats. It's about intimidation, psychological warfare, and the way one player can change the entire tempo of a league. The Steelers' locker room is reportedly reeling from the news, a mix of shock and resignation as they face the reality of life without one of the franchise's defining players. There's talk that Pittsburgh's front office knew this was coming, but even so, the impact is monumental. What wasn't just a player? He was a symbol, a standard-bearer of toughness, discipline, and excellence. His absence leaves a void that isn't easily filled, and while the Steelers have talent and tradition, the league has now witnessed firsthand how the pendulum can swing in an instant. Meanwhile, Washington is quietly reveling in the acquisition, projecting confidence, and signaling a new era where they are not merely participants. They are contenders, armed with one of the deadliest defensive weapons the NFL has seen in decades. Strategically, this move is a masterstroke. Dan Quinn's vision has always been to engineer defenses that are adaptable, unpredictable, and suffocating. TJ Watt doesn't just fit that vision, he amplifies it. Rumor has it that the team's playbooks are being rewritten, new blitz schemes are being designed, and training camps are buzzing with the knowledge that they now have a centerpiece capable of redefining the league's power dynamics. Offensive coordinators across the NFL are reportedly meeting in crisis mode, reevaluating every game plan, because what under Quinn is the nightmare scenario they never prepared for. The intrigue isn't just about what he does on the field, it's about what his presence does to the entire ecosystem of the game. From quarterbacks to offensive lines, coaches to commentators, the mere mention of what in Washington colors the entire narrative of the league. There's also an intangible, almost mythical quality to this development. TJ Watt's reputation transcends mere numbers. He's a disruptor, a force of nature, the kind of player who inspires teammates to elevate their game, who changes locker room dynamics, and who commands respect even from rivals. His rumored arrival in Washington isn't just about individual glory, it's about transformation. The team's culture, approach, and identity are all poised for a seismic shift. Analysts are speculating wildly. Could this be the turning point that pushes Washington over the threshold from mediocrity to dominance? Could this be the catalyst for a defensive revolution that forces the rest of the league to scramble, adapt, and innovate? Every rumble in the rumor mill seems to hint at yes, that this is more than just a signing. It's a declaration of intent, a war cry, and a promise that Washington is back with a vengeance. Of course, there are skeptics, the usual voices who caution patience, who warn that chemistry, injuries, and adaptation can complicate even the most promising union. Yet even they cannot ignore the sheer potential, the seismic implications, and the excitement that TJ Watt and Dan Quinn represent together. Rumors suggest that internal projections are already jaw-dropping, that coaching staff are mapping out scenarios where Watt could single-handedly shift games, and that Washington is quietly preparing for a season where opponents will spend every snap counting the seconds until Watt might appear to strike. The league is watching with bated breath, and fans are treating every practice report, every cryptic tweet, and every leaked snippet of information like gold. This is the kind of narrative that doesn't just dominate headlines. It dominates conversations, fantasy leagues, and sports bars from coast to coast. In short, what we are witnessing is not just a player moving teams. It's a seismic event, a shift in power, a storyline so compelling that it borders on legend before a single snap has even been played. TJ Watt leaving Pittsburgh is already one of the biggest shocks in recent NFL memory, but pairing him with Dan Quinn in Washington, that's a level of excitement, speculation, and anticipation that the league rarely sees. The war has been declared, the battlefield is set, and the ripple effects are only beginning to be felt. As the rumors intensify, the analysts debate, and the fans speculate, one thing is certain. The NFL will never be the same, and Washington, armed with their new lethal weapon, is ready to make sure everyone knows it. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.